when you got the call, did you know Green Bay? You wanted to go to Tampa.
I thought I was going to Tampa only because they had drafted Vinny the year before.
Right.
And Ray Perkins, the Tampa Bay head coach at the time, was like, you, Vinny, we got that combination set for the next 10 years.
Right.
I could either have gone 1 to Atlanta, 4 to Tampa, 7 to Green Bay, 11 to Dallas.
Right.
Green Bay wanted Michael Irvin. If Green Bay takes Michael Irvin, there's a chance I slide. The only place I knew I wasn't going was Oakland, because Tim Brown had won the Heisman and Al was going to take the speed. We ain't going there.
Okay.
So I didn't have much of I wasn't going to be around long if I didn't go to Green Bay at 7.
Your final season, you have 94 catches, 1,119 yards. The 18th touchdown is still currently tied for the third most touchdowns in a single season.
Mm-hmm.
When
there's only one person happier, 2 people, than me, that my career ended. And that was the 2 specialists that said you should never play football again. They were happy. They were like, hey, based on what we see, you shouldn't play football again. I hopped off the table. I was like, okay, appreciate that information.
Mm-hmm.
And because remember, all I wanted to do was play.
Right.
I wasn't playing for a length of time or status or to be on someone's Mount Rushmore or be considered one of the great. I just wanted to play.
Right.
And I did that. And so when it was time for me to find something else to do, the American dream was you go to college and get your degree, and it allows you to compete with anyone for a position or a job. I had my degree, and I was like, I couldn't, once I get out of this neck brace, I'm going to be able to compete. And lo and behold, I ended up in TV. But in my career, my job ended the way it was supposed to, because I would probably be still trying to play if it didn't.
What do you remember? Because I remember watching the game, and I saw you blocking your former teammate, Brad Edwards, for the Falcons. Mm-hmm. And then you just collapsed.
What you didn't see being in Denver was I had been having episodes in 1989. My left side went numb.
Okay.
Just standing here talking to the guys at practice one day, left side went numb. In 1991, my right leg, left shoulder would just go numb. The end of 91, I could control my hand, but I had no feeling in it. So I started having symptoms. Mm-hmm. And then I started having a lot more my last season. Holding my head down, I could feel my spine vibrating. And when you hit your spine, it feels like you're on fire.
Right.
And I would be like, ooh, that burns. So I started having episodes. And I kind of had an idea what it was.
Right.
But you go, you still can do everything, so you keep doing it.
Lying on the field, you lay there for 3 minutes. And I remember you telling me I was trying to get up.
Yeah. But I had no strength to get up. And then Andre Rison, one of my best friends, Andre Rison is talking to me, and he is making me laugh. So Andre and I'm laying on the field. I can move, but I can't control my movement.
Right.
But I'm laughing with this fool.
Right.
And then Brad comes over, and he's like, Sterl, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just need to, because I'm trying to figure out
what's going on.
Why can't I can move, but why can't I get up?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the feeling came back, and I was fine.
Right.
And I remember before that, I caught a touchdown pass on the right side. Well, the corner hits me, and I turned my left ankle so bad that I tore the tape. And I used to get tape to my skin.
Right.
So when you tear that tape, that's severe.
Yeah.
And my ankle was about this big. And in hindsight, that was a signal for me to be like, shut it down.
Right.
But I'm like, no, retape it. Take that back up.
Right.
And we'll make it go again. And so I knew after that game that I probably was not going to play again.
But you played the following week because you go to Tampa.
Only because we needed to have a home playoff game.
Right.
And I told Mike, I said, hey, if you're going to get it to me, you better get it to me early. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be in this game.
Right.
And I had this thing was about that big, and I don't practice all week.
Right.
And I ended up with, I don't know the particular numbers, but I
9
think
for $132 and 3 touchdowns. That was the last time you ever caught a pass in the NFL.
But I knew if you're going to get it to me, you better get it to me early. Because
Right.
I don't know how long I'm going to be in this one.
You re-injured the neck. When you I think Thomas Everett glazed you as he went by.
Didn't even, the thing was, is like I said, the episodes that I was having, I remember one night laying in bed and Luger, my rock, barked. And I jumped up and hit my spine and fell back and was like, I could move, but I had no control over my movement.
Right.
So I had symptoms for like 9 weeks that was, leading up to this is it. Which made it easier for me because it wasn't like one hit, that's it. I had enough telltale signs that it was like, this is it.
Did you ever think about coming back?
No. I think I can say this now. It's been enough time. Jerry Jones called me at ESPN and asked me, Sterling, could you play? And I said, yeah. But Jerry, I'm not going to play football anymore. When I was doing TV in 1995, asked me if I could play.
Right.
But no, I never considered coming back because what am I coming back for? Because I did what I wanted to do.
Right.
And that would be moving the goalpost on God because I asked him to let me play. And if I come back to play, I'm moving the goalpost, which is unfair, and I didn't want to do that.
When the Packers waived you, did you have any emotions where they're like, bro, y'all didn't give me a chance?
No, I understood. Well, we knew I wasn't. Here's the only thing that the Packers did that bothered me.
Right.
Not one person called to say, how'd your surgery go? Because they're fixing my spine.
Right.
I could roll out of there and never walk again.
Right.
I could die on the operating table. Not one person from the organization said, hey, how'd your surgery go?
Not the coaches?
Not one person from the organization was like,
Wow.
hey, look, man, God, we're pulling for you. Let us know if you need anything. Not one person in the organization checked up. That was the only thing that I wasn't bothered. I was disappointed in. You don't owe me anything. But as men, a common decency, common courtesy, and the fact that was life altering. Not one person from the organization. I don't think you understand. That's player, trainer, front office, coach.
Damn.
No one. That's the only thing that bothered me.
Not one player.
Not one player. And I got no problem with that because, hey, look, man, we understand how cutthroat the business is. The season just ended. We just lost to Dallas in the divisional round, I think it was, for a chance to go to the NFC Championship game. All this is happening. And so I get it. You leaving Green Bay, getting out of the cold. You're trying to figure out. Some got contracts, babies being born. Hey, man, life happens. But not one person from the organization was like,
how did the thing go?
yes. And the bother was, that's odd. That a common decency, and I'm saying a common.
Yeah.
A common decency.
That's not asking too much.
No, I didn't ask. Hey, look, I understand organization-wise, you got to find, do you have the receivers in the room that we can go from where we are and keep going upward? I get that. What pieces are we going to bring in to help us? I get that. Not one person, trainer, no one. Bothered me to the point I was okay. Man, I'm like, as soon as I got out of my brace, Doc said, your neck is solid. I was like, okay, I'm good. And then, everything fell into place with ESPN. I was off and running. And it was so funny that I never thought about it until the Hall of Fame happened. And when the Hall of Fame happened, now I start to hear from people in the organization. And I'm saying to myself, how do I feel about that? Honestly, like, you know what? When I was at my proverbial lowest, never heard from them. What you would perceive as my highest, I really don't need to hear from y'all. I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. It's just
Because none of the people that
you can't have one without the other.
Right.
Now, granted, there's a lot of change and turnover.
All change.
From from when I was there until now. But still, you know, it was
It
just
still
like,
stings a little bit.
It not sting. It doesn't have the value it should.
Right.
And I was just like, you know, the Green Bay Packers were gracious enough to throw me a Hall of Fame party at the Hall of Fame. And I did everything that I could to get them not to. Because I'm like, I don't feel comfortable accepting that.
Feeling this way about it.
Ooh, you know, but Kathy and the Green Bay Packers have been wonderful. This group of folks have been wonderful.
How many from the former Packers, like when you were there, the organization, do you think will be at the ceremony on Saturday?
I have no idea. I do know Don Mikowski. I will say I believe Ron Hallstrom.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't know. I'm not that guy. I'm not nostalgic. Man, I live 20-something miles from the University of South Carolina. I ain't never been back to watch a game. I've never been to alumni weekend in Green Bay. I'm not that guy. I mean, I did what I wanted to do, and man, have at it. I'm just not built that way to be. I think of my teammates, I probably talk to 2, maybe 3, Keith Woodside, Perry Kemp, Clarence Weathers, Don Mikowski. Every now and then, he and I'll link up. I'll see him somewhere. But I don't. I mean, I loved all my teammates. I loved playing with them. Leroy Butler, who was a Hall of Famer. But I don't. I don't talk to a lot of them.
When you leave, you don't play in '95. You retire, and the next 2 years, the Packers go to the Super Bowl. They win one, they lose one. Did you like, damn?
No, I didn't play football to go to a Super Bowl. Didn't play football to go to the Hall of Fame. Didn't play football to be an All-Pro. Didn't play football to go to the Pro Bowl. I did know that the first year I went, I took Libby. And I wanted to go back so I could take you. And then the next time I was like, the next time I go back is when he plays in one. If he don't play in one, I ain't going back. And the next time I went, you made it. Yeah. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not built that way. You know, Green Bay going, at least I had an idea. A lot of the guys were still on the team of what they were going through to get there. Andre Rison slid into the number 84, caught a touchdown. I was extremely happy for him and that success. But no, it never bothered me.
Now, we're less than a week away from going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And they're 382, 383.
I'm 382.
But we're the first set of brothers.
Yes. That's cool.
Of over 25,000 men that have played, coached, owned, general managed. Over 25,000 men. We're the first 2 brothers.
Wow.
Have you thought about what that meant?
Yeah. 2 little black boys from Glenville, Georgia, that didn't have a male figure in the household after age 11 and 13 or 10 and 13. That was pretty much predominantly raised by women that didn't live in a house with running water until 1988. Absolutely. It's just, it's God's gift to being on a path, not deviating from that path, not trying to alter that path, and not trying to change. You know what? We could always get there from where we were. Right. Yeah, man.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before 2 something.